This edition of whatever it is you're watching is brought to you by
RidleyReport, RidleyReport, something, 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 RidleyReport. Well, I'll take any excuse I can get to reuse this video. Shot by YouTuber Biker Bill NH, it shows hundreds upon hundreds of homeschoolers cramming the New Hampshire State House to prevent new homeschooling regulations.
I need your attention again, please.
But apparently some Democrats did not quite get the message. The regulatory attempt continues in the form of draconian recommendations by a subcommittee. Writing in late October, Michelle from nhliberty.org has this to say, quote, "The Evaluation Subcommittee's proposal includes the following. Every child, every year, takes the NECAP test, or the test the local district is using. In other words, standardized testing. 2. The portfolios we are required to keep would now be temporarily given to the superintendent, who would have up to 3 evaluators, 2 mandatory, 3 if there is a need, determine the educational progress your child has made if they deem it appropriate for age and ability. 3. These conclusions will determine whether or not your program is acceptable or is put on probation. This proposal," Michelle says, "would set NH as among the most hostile states against homeschooling. NECAP testing is tied to No Child Left Behind, which specifically excludes homeschoolers. But NH would force homeschoolers to participate. In the public schools, NECAP tests are not used to evaluate individual children, but obviously it would be for homeschooled children. This is also an attempt to force curriculum requirements, as if public schools are a shining example of education excellence." Unquote. So, in short, House Bill 368, which triggered this massive, unhappy turnout, continues to threaten homeschoolers. Now, when all these folks showed up at the State House, they were able to neuter most of the bad stuff about 368, but the one thing they couldn't quell was the creation of this evil-doing subcommittee. If you'd like to take action on this, I guess the one simple thing you could do is get yourself over to nhliberty.org/forum and see what's going on. nhliberty.org/forum. There's actually other emailing lists and websites where the homeschoolers are more congregated and more effective, but nhliberty.org is a good place to get started. I will point out another disturbing note. I know it's kind of off-season, but usually there's more traffic on nhliberty.org/forum than there is right now. I was stunned to see there are no events listed on the calendar. That's a really good web forum. It's probably the most tolerant web forum in the state. Generally very user-friendly. So I would just urge more traffic in that direction. From there you'll find other homeschoolers and you can figure out what to do. There is no reason why you have to wait until you've moved to New Hampshire to have an impact on this. I'm sure our local homeschoolers can find something for you to do that's constructive from wherever you are. Right now, New Hampshire is considered slightly, probably above average in terms of how well it treats homeschoolers, and that is mostly because of Free Staters who moved here and actually changed the law. A bill called the Homeschool Paperwork Reduction Act went through in roughly 2006, but the gains created under that law are, of course, always threatened by Democrats. At least some Democrats. Like constitutional threat Emma Rous here.
Do you have a message for the Ron Paul movement? Do you have a product for the New Hampshire Liberty community? Then stop keeping it a secret. Head on over to
RidleyReport.com. Email Ridley
and purchase an ad. There is no humiliation nor privation Ridley will not endure to ensure your message gets out. RidleyReport.com